So we are tracking this storm, and storm is probably not the right word for this. It is it's a blizzard. It is meets any definition of blizzard by every one of the forecasters out there. We're expecting between 1.5 feet and 2 feet of snow, 50 to 60 mile an hour winds, storm surges, the whole thing. And so what that means for people is a number of things. So the City Hall and city government is getting ready by getting our plow trucks ready. We ordinarily put about 120 plows out there on the routes. The city has over 300 miles of roadway, so they'll get started in the early morning hours. So we expect the snow to start in earnest after midnight, and we're building up every other aspect of our operation. So that's all in motion now. Look, when you get a snowstorm of this magnitude, it really takes a village for us to get back to business as expeditiously as possible. So there are three particular things I'd ask of everybody during the storm. So first off, compliance with the parking ban is really important. So the parking ban will go into effect at 8 o'clock tonight, and it's really important that everybody comply. The reason we do this is that so that emergency vehicles can travel freely down the street so they can get to people in need, period. We take no delight in ticketing cars. That's not why we do it. We do it so that people can remain safe. Secondly, tomorrow will be a wretched day out on the roads, so stay off the roads unless it's an emergency. The fewer cars out there, the easier it is for our plow trucks to do their job. And third, please be patient. There's a lot of snow coming. Our manning situation should be better than the last snowstorm. We had a lot of people out with COVID with the snowstorm 2 weeks ago. It should be better now. We won't be up to 100%, but it'll be better. But even if we were at 100%, it would still take a doing to get all of the snow off the ground quickly. And so, we expect a lot of drifting. So you'll see a lot of streets that were plowed fill back up again. And that's just what happens with these storms. So I would keep all those things in mind. There are precautions, of course. You got to watch out for down power lines. We expect to see some of that. Power lines that are lying there on the ground can be dangerous. So if you see one, call 911. If the power goes out, call NSTAR or Eversource, and just to let them know that that's happened. And if people do all these things, we should be able to get back into business pretty quickly. But it's going to take some time over the course of the weekend to get all the snow up. So let's all work together, please.
So there's a boating advisory?
What we have right now, so all the vessels are in, all the fishing vessels are back in, which is good. If they're not back in right this moment, they will be back in soon. So the Coast Guard has done a number of mariners warnings already. The hurricane barrier will remain open. It's manned by the Army Corps of Engineers, and if they think that there's a need at high tide to close it, they'll do that. But this storm has been predicted for a few days now, so we have every reason to believe that the fishing fleet's back in and safe into port.
So there's no shortage of plow drivers
So
that were last year.
It's not as acute as it was last time. Last time we had a full quarter of our plow drivers out, and it's gotten better. A lot of those guys have been able to come back into work since then. There's still, I don't have the exact number it's just not as high as it was last time, the number of absentees. But even still, even if we were at 100%, this snowstorm would present a challenge that would require all weekend plowing. So that's what people should expect.
And have the roads been pre-treated already?
They have not been pre-treated already, but they will, and you'll see that over the course of the day.
What is the parking infraction if someone violates?
What's the level of fine?
Yeah.
It's a $50 fine. And then some people are subject to towing, so they will also tow on some of the main streets. And again, the idea is pretty straightforward. We really want the main streets to be free for emergency vehicles to do their thing, to get to people in need. And again, we've had some trouble with compliance over the years. Unlike Providence, we have a one-sided ban here, except on certain main streets we have a two-sided ban. So it's worked pretty well in theory, but in practice, compliance hasn't been what we'd hoped. So we've done a number of robocalls in advance of the storm already, just to give people a heads up.
Are you concerned about any coastal flooding?
Well, we'll keep an eye on it. So we think that there might be some coastal, maybe a little bit in low-lying areas like along Padenham Avenue. We're not as exposed as other parts of Massachusetts to storm surges. You know, there are parts of Massachusetts up north and south of Boston that are prone to the open ocean because of the way the Buzzards Bay is configured. We don't have as much of a problem here. We tend not to.
Again, what is your message to people that are at home watching this tonight on their TV screens?
Yeah, so 3 things. Comply with the parking ban because we want emergency vehicles to travel freely down streets. Secondly, stay off roads tomorrow. And third, please just be patient. It's a big storm. It'll take a while to plow.
Great.
Okay.
Great.
All right.
Thank
Easy
you so
peasy.
much.